Looking back at a past relationship, it's often difficult to comprehend why things unfolded the way they did. Why did the narcissist constantly push your buttons, seeming to provoke conflict at every turn? Why did you feel like you were always walking on eggshells, second-guessing your every word and action? There's an undeniable truth that might be hard to accept, but once you grasp it, everything starts to make sense. The narcissist needed you to fight, and in the end you triumphed. You might find yourself wondering why anyone would intentionally create conflict in a relationship. After all, a healthy relationship should be founded on peace, communication, and mutual respect. So, why did the narcissist transform every conversation and moment into a battleground? Was it a calculated tactic, or was it simply an aspect of their psychological makeup? How did their need to drag you into these emotional battles serve their interests? And why did you end up losing yourself in the process? To understand this, it's crucial to examine the psychological motivations behind the narcissist's behavior. Narcissists often feed off chaos and emotional turmoil because it gives them a sense of control and validation. Their need to create conflict isn't random. It's part of their ongoing strategy to manipulate and maintain dominance. They thrive in environments where they can keep others off balance, ensuring that their desires and needs are always met, even at the expense of those around them. In these toxic dynamics, the narcissist will typically aim to provoke strong reactions from their partner. They want to see you engage in the fight, as it gives them the upper hand. For them, conflict becomes a way to maintain control over the relationship. They manipulate your emotions and behaviors, making you question your reality, your self-worth, and even your sanity. It's a subtle, yet powerful form of psychological warfare that can leave you feeling drained, confused, and isolated. But here's the thing. Despite the narcissist's best efforts to entrap you in their web of conflict, you emerged victorious. As you reflect on the situation, you may realize that the narcissist's need for these emotional battles ultimately worked against them. By engaging with them, you gained valuable insights into their behavior, learned to trust your own instincts, and found strength you didn't know you had. In the end, the narcissist's manipulation and provocation couldn't keep you trapped in their chaos forever. Now that we've explored the psychological reasoning behind the narcissist's need to fight, it's time to dive even deeper into the specifics of how this dynamic plays out in relationships. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with others who might benefit from these insights. The journey we're about to take is filled with revelations and clarity. Stay with me until the end, because you won't want to miss a single moment. The narcissist's need for constant conflict stems from a place of deep insecurity. On the outside, they may appear confident or even superior, but underneath that facade lies fragility. This internal vulnerability drives them to seek control and validation from others, particularly from their targets. They thrive on manipulating emotions, seeking constant reassurance from the reactions they provoke in others. When a narcissist insults, belittles, or undermines your sense of self-worth, they are not merely trying to hurt you. Instead, they are fishing for an emotional response. This emotional reaction is the fuel that feeds their sense of power and control. By provoking you, they are not simply attacking. They are testing your limits to see how much control they can wield over your feelings and actions. Narcissists are drawn to conflict because it allows them to take charge of the situation. They are in their element when they can manipulate emotions and cause turmoil. When you react, even in defense, you give them exactly what they crave, control over you, which ironically results in emotional chaos for both parties involved. This cycle of conflict becomes a way for the narcissist to maintain dominance and feed their need for validation. This is where it gets tricky. The narcissist isn't after genuine connection. They're after dominance. They want to manipulate your emotions to validate their own self-worth. And by dragging you into these battles, they create an environment where they can dictate the terms. If they can keep you emotionally invested in the conflict, they know they have power over you. But here's the kicker, it's all an illusion. They want you to believe that their behavior is justified, that their constant need for attention and control is a reflection of your failures or inadequacies. You might have spent years in this toxic cycle, fighting battles that seemed impossible to win. The more you fought, the more you felt drained and emotionally exhausted. The narcissist, however, thrived in these moments of chaos. They fed off your energy, feeding into the drama and manipulation. But here's where you triumphed. When you finally broke free from the cycle, you took back your power. You stopped engaging in the emotional tug-of-war, and you stopped reacting to the narcissist's provocations. This is when you began to heal and reclaim your life. The narcissist's need for control and validation became apparent, and that's when you saw through the facade. The illusion they had built around you began to crumble, and in its place, you found clarity. You realized that their attempts to pull you into fights were nothing more than desperate attempts to retain control, and that control was only temporary. In the end, your victory was not about winning arguments or fighting back, but about stepping away from the battle entirely. By taking a step back, you realized that the conflict was never truly about you. It was driven by their insatiable need for validation. Once you stopped feeding into their manipulative games, you freed yourself from their emotional control. You saw the narcissist for who they truly were, and made the conscious choice to no longer let their toxic behavior dictate your reality. As you distanced yourself from the narcissist, something remarkable began to unfold. You regained your sense of self-worth. No longer did you question yourself, but instead, you began to listen to your inner voice. Free from their emotional manipulation, you started to rebuild the life you deserved. One that was rooted in peace, self-respect, and authentic connections with others. In stark contrast, the narcissist was left to face the consequences of their actions. Without someone to manipulate, they found themselves without control, and their power over you faded away. This transformation wasn't just about removing the toxic person from your life. It was about reclaiming your power and your peace of mind. By disengaging from their games, you took back control of your emotional landscape. No longer bound by their need to dominate, you could focus on what truly mattered, your own growth, happiness, and well-being. It's easy to get caught up in the drama and chaos that narcissists create, but by stepping away, you've broken the cycle. The narcissist's tactics can only work if you allow them to. By choosing not to engage, you've denied them the very thing they crave, the validation and control they sought over you. In doing so, you've protected your peace and found the strength to move forward in a healthier direction. The narcissist may try to play the victim or manipulate others, but their tactics will no longer affect you. You've learned how to see through their facade and recognize their behavior for what it truly is. This newfound clarity allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are no longer subject to their control. In choosing your own path, you've gained a profound sense of freedom and empowerment. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope this discussion has provided valuable insight into the dynamics of narcissistic relationships and how you can reclaim your power. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who may benefit from this information. Until next time, remember that true strength comes from within. Take care of yourself, and continue to prioritize your well-being.